Good morning and welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Marina Savic, a body-centered and somatic healing specialist who helps people release stress and heal from trauma by reconnecting with their bodies through somatic healing practices. Here to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody who is with us this morning. So we had a chat before and now before this show, and I tell to ladies, I hope so this subject today not going to be too much for this morning, but I think so it's a good really for the beginning and the start of the year.
So
thank
true.
You so much.
And we're so excited to dive in.
I mean, I love it because everyone, of course, I hope it's on everyone's New Year resolution is to heal from any trauma that's there. But for those who are unfamiliar, how would you explain somatic healing to them?
So it's a very good question. If I can just briefly say before I tap into that, actually how that came to me. And I believe will be interesting for all of us, because I think so when we have some certain triggers in life, some very difficult points in our life or losses, this is the moment that sometimes something big happen within ourselves, with our bodies, where we start questioning our life and our behavior and actually how we've been through the life. So before 7 years when I lost my dad, that was actually trigger for me. And then my dad lost his life from the lung cancer. And after 3 months, my brother also got diagnosed with the Cushing syndrome, because Cushing syndrome is starting from the cortisol, which is a hormone of stress. And after 2 years as well, was diagnosed from the lung cancer of the second stage. Luckily everything was removed. But at that time when I lost my dad, that triggered, that loss, that grief actually triggered me to turn back and have a vision of my life, of myself, of what I did until that day. So who am I actually? So I really started to, I always been seeker since childhood. I always like to ask those deep questions. I always ask my mom, how we are existing, how this came. Right. So what is there? So she told me, Marina, when you grow up, you will find people who will answer those questions. So yes, we are those ones who can really answer to each other those questions. And we are those ones who can make ourselves sick, or we can heal each other's. So at that time, I started really to explore myself, to question my migraines that I got in my life, like severe migraines, my feelings, insecurities, moments when I just overburn myself, overdoing myself, overgiving myself without feeling comfortable and feeling guilty, saying no to people when it's the moment to stand up for myself. I knew to shake like this. Yes, so all those things that I just go through my life, I brought myself to anorexia almost also in one stage of my life, even though coming from the fitness industry for 20 years, I was thinking that I'm doing right things to myself. So when we don't have this perception of ourselves as a whole, right, of our sensations, of our feelings, or our actions and our thoughts, and we are just going through life because we think, oh, this is just how I am, oh, this is how life it is, right? So this is how I should live. Then we are just going on autopilot. And before a few days, I tell to my client, when we have anxious mind, when we are in chronic stress, we don't have space actually to think clearly. We don't have space to make clear decisions. We are reactive. So my curiosity actually, by working on myself, healing myself, diving into myself, actually brought me people, mentors, studies, intuition, also to really become whole. So
wow, what a journey, and we're glad your brother is okay, and so sorry about your dad losing a parent.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your empathy.
It sounds like self-exploration is a really important process for somatic healing, and I wonder for everyone watching today who wants to heal and for ourselves, like what is the first step? It sounds, it sounds like a simple process, but actually, how do you start that process?
It sounds like a simple process. Of course, when we reach some level, everything is simple. But everything that I want to say about somatic healing is through the process that we are actually learning to come back to our safety, to create the safety within our nervous system and within our bodies and minds also when we want to pursue something. So we can start with just starting acknowledging what sensations we are feeling at a certain moment. Let's say I'm guest today. So when I was sitting outside, just simple life example, when I was sitting outside, it's very natural for all of us that we have certain the heart rate up a little bit, right? This is now physical sensation. Oh, my stomach is a little bit in a pain. Something is happening there because now I need to be guest on a TV. It's a responsibility, right? I have responsibility what I'm going to say today, how I'm going to say, and what is happening. What we learned before, that we've been so much judged, right, through life when we make some mistakes, when we say something that may be not appropriate, we've been punished. So our cells, our bodies are very old. Our bodies are very ancient. So our bodies needed thousands of years to develop and to be where we are today. So we carry in ourselves so much memories and so many traumas through life. It's not just from this life, but this is another subject. But I was sitting outside, and because now I have tools, right? I was sitting, I was just grounding myself, I was breathing, I was connecting into my sensations, what I sense, what I feel in this moment, where I feel that in my body. I was breathing into that space, reminding myself that I'm safe to come here and to talk with you and to share this blessing of this subject for all of us, really, and for our humanity. And then also acknowledging what I think. Is it any mental process I'm thinking now, right? And do I remember where I maybe learn these struggles and these contractions? But because now my nervous system already developed this capacity of safety, so very, very fast, I could come back into my safety and feel comfortable to come here and clearly to talk about this subject. So really through somatic healing is really remembering and reminding our nervous system that we are safe to be who we are, that it's safe to express yourself. When you have your needs in your family, in your relationships, on your workstation, your bosses, right, managers, that it's okay to express how you feel and how something makes you feel. And I truly, truly, truly hope and praying that we will have those conversations when I ask you, how are you feeling today? So how many of us asking each other, how are you actually feeling today? Wow. So somatic healing is not just about our emotional body, but is really from, and it means soma, which is from ancient Greece. And they didn't look just on the physical body, right? Because soma means body, but they look on the body as a whole. Mind, our spirit, and our body. So through somatic healing, we are going through all those, and we really, really become whole. So,
speaking of traumas and our bodies, can you explain, maybe as well give examples of how trauma can be stored and visible in the body?
So I don't know, did you hear about Dr. Gabor Mate? I love him so much. So Dr. Gabor Mate says and explains trauma this way. So trauma is not, and how is stored in the body actually. Trauma is not an event that is happening to us. Trauma is what's happening within us in the moment when something happening to us. So it's the same with the stress, right? We people, we have vocabulary, right? We have words to say something, to explain something, right? And we explain everything, oh, I'm so stressful. But what is that stress? So stress is not something that is happening to me right now. It's what is happening within me in this moment when something happening to me. So this is the stress. So this is how trauma also stayed stuck in the body when the moment when we're going to overwhelming experience. Let's say if we grow in very unsettled family that is very critical, and then the parents actually, let's say, by the way, there is no blame for any parents. Parenting is the most valuable and the highest thing that we can experience and most hardest, right? But let's say that parents also didn't grow in a household where emotional expression was valid, where we had this emotional intelligence to recognize that something is going on with us. So imagine the child who doesn't have emotional capacity yet to acknowledge what emotionally is happening with me. And we don't have parents who will actually offer you in the moment of stress or something overwhelming happening, emotional safety, so that our body and our cells can learn that it's okay for me to cry, that it's okay for me to be angry, that it's okay for me now to shout now my anger on a healthy way, and to be healthy emotional communication. So what is happening, child is shut down. We are all different. Can happen that kids, let's say, squeeze stomach or squeeze the neck or the jaw. Let's say could be physical manifestation later on in life. Could be the child learn that it's not okay to express the feelings and the side of anger. And when we grow in life, whenever we have a trigger, when we actually be angry. So I had so much anger when my dad passed that I wasn't aware. So I had so much anger. Why he left me? I couldn't see him even. So I needed to find and grief and guilt. So I needed really to go into my body to find the places where also I learned that it's not safe for me to feel those emotions, because richness of our human existence is in feeling, in expressing and feeling. So yeah.
How do we know how connected the mind and the soul is to the physical body? Is there a science that connects them, or because we speak before about
Yes.
stresses can cause things in our lives, like it happened to your brother. We know this.
Yes.
So we try and reduce stress in our lives, but is there like a science that shows that there is a connection?
A lot of scientists today are looking into that subject. So we have a lot of research about PTSD, fibromyalgia, thyroid glands, and all these physical manifestations that today we have, especially present in the woman, that is really connected to the way that we believe about ourselves. There is a belief system, that's something that we learn from society as a collective. We learn in our families through our childhood. So all of that is really connected to, I can say, one energetic imprint that is within us, because emotions are just energy in the motion and they're present all the time, right? It's just sometimes we are aware of them, sometimes we are not. But all those things that are obtaining within us is something that guiding our mind. And usually in society we can see that everything that we witness was like, oh, your mind, you need to be strong, is the way how you say things to yourself, right? But we actually neglecting the 95% of what is in our bodies, because they say the body is our subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind have much more power than actually our conscious mind. So because it's working much faster than our consciousness. Mm-hmm. So those energies, belief system, what we believe in about ourselves, what we say, how we perceive life, how we look on life, what we believe about relationships, right, that we deserve. So we can self-sabotage ourselves. Because why? Our body will always try to protect us from something that body didn't learn or didn't learn safety. So I can give one example, let's say, how our body remembers sensations and how we can react to that. Let's say on a 1999, I'm from Serbia, from Belgrade, so it was bombarding in my country. I was 19. So that night, and remember when bombarding started, we stay without electricity. My dad just says, run down. So I was jumping 5-6 stairs to reach down to the basement. So we reached down to the basement, and because my parents were all over the place, right, to help the neighbors, because we didn't know what will be, right? So I remember sitting on the bench in complete dark in the smelly basement and shaking like this for 1 hour. So my body, right, I didn't had nobody to offer me safety. So that my nervous system and myself can go maybe easier through that process. So when I came in Dubai, I remember I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, actually plane was crossing our house, and was really crossing so low. So the sound of the plane was very, very high. And in the middle of the night, so I'm sleeping, I jumped. So my body, as a sensories, remember the sound of the planes. I jumped, I wake up my husband, and I say, we need to run out, we need to run. And my husband said, Marina, just breathe. What's happening? It's just plane. So then I realized, wow, I still need to work on this because we are in a constant alert and we are in a constant survival. And we are in a fight, flight, or freeze level of our nervous system. So we cannot respond to life. We are in a constant protection and survival. So yeah, I'm praying that we will start working on ourselves and tapping slowly, step by step, into our wholeness, into learning to express, really, because this is liberation for us and for our bodies and for our health.
And maybe I feel like what you went through was something extremely traumatic, and although we don't all have similar life experiences, I'm sure we all do have deep subconscious from growing up that we should be potentially trying to heal.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we all have trauma, definitely.
Yes.
There is a traumatization and there is a trauma, but there is no one human. We're not going to be human beings if we don't have some kind of traumas. And you and me, we can grow in the same household, but your nervous system and mine not going to be the same. So you and me, we can go through the same challenges, same experiences, but we not going to respond on the same way to the same occasion. So maybe for you, something that is happening will be very small, nothing, but for me it will be very traumatized.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, according, of course, now to, I've read Sigmund Freud's book, that emotions, stress, anxiety, trauma, all of these things are related to other diseases.
Oh, yes.
So do you think somatic healing can actually heal all of these things and maybe put the actual diseases in remission or in a stagnant mode?
Yeah, I truly believe, because if we go back on the beginning and we start really diving, because if we see in the Western medicine, with all my respect, right, to Western medicine that obviously we need, but I feel that in this time of the consciousness, for us is much easier just to go and to say, oh, I need to fix something. I have so much neck pain. I have palpitations. I don't know, I have stomach issues. I have severe migraines. So let's go, and I need medications. And this is the symptoms that we're working on the surface with something. But we can dive into sensations of when everything started, what is the energy around the actual pain, right? Because let's say I had a migraines. So I got a migraines when I came in Dubai. So this change, this emotional trigger, something emotionally triggered me, right? Of leaving everything, leaving my fitness studio, leaving my animals, leaving my parents, leaving literally everything. And wasn't easy when I came here. So I needed to tap into, and when I went to the neurologist told me, you know what, you're completely healthy. He couldn't find anything. Mm-hmm. And he told me, Marina, you can go and find the best neurologist in the world, and he will not heal migraine. So only what I can do, I can give you medications. Fair enough, right? So I asked the doctor, did you ever ask your patients about their emotions? How they live their life? When this migraine started, she said, no, we are not trained for that. And this is the moment we can dive into sensations, into actually the memory, right? Implicit memory, not implicit memory, which is in the body, and into our subconscious to see to what is connected actually to this illness, the energy of the illness, sensation of the pain, right? To move that energy. So we have a different tools, right? And it's a blessing. I don't want to say here to claim, oh yes, you can 100% heal.
Right.
But what I can definitely say is when we start working on this way and having an interest actually to take care of ourselves as a whole and working holistically on ourselves, 100% I am sure, I'm 45, luckily, completely healthy, and I am completely sure that we can support our system and our nervous system to live more freely, to feel more safe. And once we feel more safe, there is a more health, definitely. So it's not everything just workout. It's not everything just healthy food or healthy air. It's something very powerful that is within us that need also our attention in order to support our workout, our food, our breath, and everything else. So,
how are your migraines now?
Good. Migraines are good.
Important.
Yes.
We have gone way over time, so we just have time.
Oh my God.
So we just have time for one more question. for people watching, we're talking about somatic healing. So what simple practice would you recommend for someone who is looking to adopting somatic healing into their daily routine? Is that a thing?
So I will always first say ground yourself. We are in Dubai, so we can always remove our shoes and go in the garden or just on the floor and ground yourself, close your eyes, just breathe into your body and feel the sensations in your body and feel this connection with the ground. So by breathing and just connecting with the ground, we are immediately tapping into the body. We are immediately lowering the brain frequency from the high beta to very low theta or alpha, and we actually can feel safe in our bodies. Also, there is a million exercises, breathing. I'm a breathwork practitioner as well. So I always recommend breathing. Just calm breathing. Let's say we can do this. I love havening exercises, which means you will just offer safety to yourself and cuddle yourself actually from the shoulders down to your elbows, and just breathe into your body.
Right.
Yes. And you can repeat yourself also to your mind, I am safe in this moment. I feel it's safe for me to feel what I feel, because guys, we need only 90 seconds when we start feeling something to sit, to feel that, to express. It's 90 seconds for us, this feeling to go through, and that's it.
Interesting.
But what we do, we numb ourselves, we suppress,
right,
and we just go in the next chapter. And then we are reactive, we are overreactive, we feel like broken, but we are not broken. So havening is beautiful with the breathing, and also, let's say, putting one hand under the armpit and hugging yourself and just swaying, so swaying on the side to side. It's like when we've been little, right? And our mom hugging us, right? And swaying us, right? So this is something that our nervous system recognizing that is safe, and it's soothing exercises. So let's say those simple things, but we can explore much deeper. So yeah.
So beautiful. It's giving me the comfort of child's pose in yoga. For people interested in the topic, that was just a little a dash of what more there is to learn about somatic healing. So if you'd like to contact Marina directly, how can they do so?
They can contact me through Instagram, Marina Savic 1111, or maybe through my email, thrivewithmarina.com. LinkedIn as well, Marina Savic Baines.
Awesome, thank you
and
so much.
And also through you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I really wish that these subjects become normal to us, and that we all can involve more with expressing who truly we are safely. So. And we grow our humanity that way, and our relationships. It's a beautiful way to exist, really, to be human.
More to come, that is for sure. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you, Casey.
And that brings us to the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.